Wait! One time I my recording. I should be recording now. Okay, hello, welcome back to some Fuss Snow. Hopefully you're out doing a good day and stay safe. So, last episode we left off after the zoo date and the first night together. Well, Phoebe Wolf was playing Doom plus 2. That's not how you're supposed to pronounce it. My brain's just not working today. Alright, so we're going to continue on where we last left off. The classroom lies silent, save for the scratching of pencil against paper. I've already finished my math test, the unwillingness to be the first to turn it in being the only thing keeping me glued to my desk. I'm thankful for the chance to rest, though Elan's pace as we scooted around the zoo took all my effort to keep up with. And then there was the other business we got up to. The other business. Other business. Someone finally brings his paper to the front. Other students follow suit after. I quickly join them, eagerly placing my test on the teacher's desk and packing my things afterwards. The last final of the semester now over, I'm ready to go home and to see Elan one last time before she leaves for Colorado.
Hey!
Ah, poop. The loud voice from behind makes me jump in startlement. Hey. Oh, hey, Caprice, hey. My heart slowly moves out of my throat. Well, Caprice and I starting off together towards art club. I had considered asking Elan if we could walk back into her apartment together instead, but I couldn't leave without saying my goodbyes to Caprice and Wallace if I could find them. What brings you to my class anyway? Millie wasn't around, so I got lonely. So second choice, huh? Well, at least I can be around for her. The two really are close, aren't you? Yep. We grew up together, and now we even live together. Millie and me, and Haley. She's our other friend. We take good care of each other. There really are all kinds of relationships. It's so different from high school, where everyone was neatly organized into friends, classmates, or strangers, and we all just lived with our parents. Do you have a roommate? What like? I live with a family friend. She's nice, even if she looks a bit rough. Oh, stupid. Wait 1 second. I've talked too much, I tell you. Do you want to see it? I tell you. I dealt with that fly that was attacking me last episode. Finally, I tell you. I saw that I dealt with it earlier, but it was just me accidentally scratching my monitor, I tell you. So that kind of sucks, I tell you. Making sure my avocado's okay. I have this little plant. It's not actually alive, I don't think so. It's just an avocado. It's one of those fake plants that are avocados. It's a succulent? Yeah, succulent. I live with my family friend. She's nice. So, the statement seems to give Caprice food for thought. You shouldn't look so tired. School's finally over for a year. And that's why we're having a extra special art club meeting. Extra special? You'll see what I mean. I have a feeling she's working this out as she goes along. I still can't decide if I like that spontaneous. Sorry about that. Spontaneous? You know what? I can never pronounce this word. Of her. It's endearing, but there's no sense of stability to her like Elan has. That'd just be her As we head towards the art club building, we spot Élan just outside, busy huffing into her hands and rubbing them together for a little warmth. It takes a moment for her to notice us. Élan, hi. As she looks up in my direction, I notice her shoulders relax a little. It wasn't long ago that I only ever saw Élan tense and on guard, but now she's reflectively... Sorry about that. Reflectively relaxes when around me. It's nice. For her part, Beast just bowls on ahead without a care in the world.
Hey!
Élan tenses right back up as she sees my companion, the moment lost. Still, I'm left rather happy at the effect I have on Élan, whether she notices it or not.
Afternoon.
Afternoon, you two. Caprice, why are you looking at me like that? It's creeping me out. Caprice grabs on to both our shoulders, and to my surprise, drags us away from the arts building. We have a change of plans.
Huh?
Do I get a say in this? Once again, Caprice either doesn't hear or chooses to ignore the question. Are we going to the pizza place? No. By the time we arrive at my apartment and shrug off our coats, it's already dark enough to flick the lights on as we enter. Apart from the sound of passing cars, the only sounds are Caprice's exaggerated sounds of thoughtful inspection. Élan raises an eyebrow as Caprice whips out her phone to take a photo for posterity, the item disappearing into her pants pocket as almost as quickly as it appeared. Will you just leave that thing? You've been fiddling with your phone all the way here more than Allison does. Hey, well, that's true. Caprice gives a thumbs up, but it has the opposite effect of anything. Her agreement is a little too quick, given how stubborn Caprice usually is. So Rose isn't here then. She drifts in and out. I've given up trying to work out any schedule to it. Cool posters. They're my roommates. She's been living here longer than me. So the decorations are all hers. You got bass, you got gun. You know, I was trying to figure out this, you know. Okay, it says gun, it says this. And I saw there's clouds for a sec, but then I see that it's a revolver. This is the end of the revolver. And you got, you know, my brain's not working. Do apologize. You got the trigger over here, you got the lock mechanism, I can't remember what you call it. You gotta have to just, you know, work with me here. Hitondrous? Not sure. A knock on the door rings out. 4 light taps, struck with a metronome's timing. Come in. Door's unlocked. Huh? What's going on? This is my apartment, you know. Priest just grins, drawing a grimace from Élan. What did you think I was on my phone for? I called over some friends. Dang! The old door. That's the front door. I thought the front door was over there. The old door creaks open with Millie head peering into the living room. Assured that she's come to the right place, she skips in with the unmistakable figure of Wallace following her like a giant shadow. Not giant shadow. Pretty sure it's shadow, I'm not sure. Millie, have you heard from Haley? That stupid fly's back. Dang, it's gotten so light outside at her. I guess that's what I get for recording this at 9 AM at her. Millie answers. Where did that go? It's probably back in the air by now. Sorry, I had to fly, but I don't know where it went. Well, I don't think I hit it. I think I scared it and it fell out the air. Millie answers as she takes off her coat. Wallace doing the same for his scarf.
Hello there.
She's at home sleeping. Seems like finals tired her out.
Come on.
She never wants to go anywhere. Don't know this Haley, but I feel like I can relate. It's not just about finals or going particular places. Being around people is exhausting itself. Lately I've been looking forward to it. Even if it takes a lot out of me. The clinking of bottles draws my attention. Looking downward, showing a 6-pack of bottled beer. Why? Can't we just have some orange juice? Tell you, alcohol, not good. Being carried in one hand and a plastic bag with a couple of brightly coloured natural packets visible inside. Caprice looks up to the two, surprised just as I am by the present they brought along. Just a little something for the special event. I can't believe you didn't take the Santa hat they were offering, no?
Not happening.
I'm not wearing a Santa hat, Christmas or not. Why not? Would have suited you. Don't you start. So this was Caprice's plan, a party to celebrate the end of college for the year. I really would have preferred her to just tell me. But there's also a begrudgingly respect that she's apparently managed to organise all this during the short trip from college to my apartment. I'm about to warn Wallace about Millie casting covetous eyes on his beer when Elan leans over and murmurs in my ear.
Allison.
Is the party here going to be a problem for you?
Sure.
It'll be fine, I think. Well, you better save some for a rolls, I tell you. Satisfied with my answer, she steps over to the couch and takes a seat with a sigh. Despite my waving off the concern, I appreciate Elan's sense of responsibility. As we talk, Wallace sets down the beer and chips on the table. Caprice wastes no time in scooting over and ripping open the bag, Millie soon following and taking a seat across from her. The fact she steals one of the beer bottles doesn't go unnoticed.
Millie.
Wallace.
Just the one, everyone heart, right?
Hey!
And that's how you end up walking home, blah, and all over the place, I tell you. Hey, stop hogging those chips. I'm hungry. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? I could really go some lactose-free cheese, grated cheese now. It'd be expensive cheese, I tell you. Shouldn't be that expensive, I tell you. I see, like, you know, other ones that are lactose-free and, you know, they're pretty good, you know, looking. I used to always get this one cheese from Co-op before it changed the recipe, I tell you. It tastes terrible now. It's this orange cheese and this red packet that I think it used to have. So sad when they changed that, and it's just horrible. I used to get like packs of that. I would eat grated cheese constantly. Wallace just sighs defeated as the two bicker over the food. I feel a little sorry for him. But given he did bring them, make yourselves at home. Elan gestures for me to join her, jerking her head. Giving up any thought that I could control him, I skip over and take a seat on the cushion next to her. As Eileen turns towards the television, she finds a beer bottle held in front of her face. Looking up to the smiling Wallace offering it, she takes it in her hand. Merry Christmas, Eileen. Cheers, same to you. The two clink their bottles together, popping the lids with a bottle opener on Wallace's keychain before Eileen slouches back into the couch. Wallace thought passes my mind that the last thing I'd want is a alcohol-fueled mess at my place. Those fears are put to rest as the two gently sip away. They're just friends sharing a drink, not party-goers looking to get drunk as they can. Cannot speak, I tell you, sometimes. Looking around the room, this sure is low-key for a college party. We're just friends, drinking and gossiping. It's nice, far from the wild craziness I expected when I heard the tales about college when growing up. Guess I fell in with the right crowd. What are you doing hanging out with us losers anyway, Millie? Rank Club not doing anything special?
No, not
They're
really.
doing this and that, but most of them seem to have plans. The leader and his friends are graduating, so it's going to be up to me to keep the ship sailing. Sounds like you're going to have your hands full the next semester now. Always up for a challenge.
Wallace!
Hey, Wallace. Caprice's sighted tone as she wafts in, her mouthful of naturals fails to infuse him. Remember what we talked about at the Pizza Plaza? I mean, about your club and all?
No.
No? But,
No.
no. Millie grins triumphantly at her friend's expense. I feel a little sorry for Wallace being caught in their rivalry. I'm the only one who notices the creak of the door, my attention wholly focused on it. As I wonder who's arrived, part of me worries that Caprice organised for people to come. The girl now bickering with Millie. As the leather-clad woman steps in, everyone in the room suddenly drops into a dead silence as they stare back at her, the woman being just as dumbstruck.
Hey.
Sup? I struggle to stifle a chuckle. Never have seen Rose act awkwardly before. Everyone, this is my roommate Rose. Rose, these are my friends from college. The clarification has intended effect. Everyone relaxing as soon as the words are said. Sure, there's some wild party you got going on here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, actually, I'm left wondering what she's doing as she clicks her fingers and dives back for my coat. After a few minutes fishing about, she manages to pluck out my phone. After handing it to me to enter the unlock code, Rose stands back in the corner of the room and holds up it in both hands. Just gotta take a quick photo for the folks' smile, guys. Caprice and Millie need no further prompting, leaning towards each other as Caprice flashes a V and gives a toothy grin. I simply lean towards Eileen as she does the same as we do. I idly note that this will be our first photo together. I was gonna say photograph. My words just do not want to form sometimes. As Rose brings the camera steady, I can't stop myself from smiling. I spent so long stressing about being away from family, but before I knew it, I found myself surrounded by everyone. We might all be a bit odd, but we get... Hey wait, why is the table over here? I thought the table was over, this way, where, Wallace is standing. Sometimes, perspective be wonky, I tell you. We might all be a bit odd, but we'll get along. I found something to hold dear, and who cares for me? We're all in this together, celebrating life in my little slice of the city. I finally made a life that I can call my own. Thank you, everyone. Rose, Caprice, Wallace, and even Millie. And especially Eileen. Begin Act 3. Dang. A world away. One thing I hadn't counted on when Eileen asking I do apologize. I'm trying to get a fly from out of my PC. Oh, that was very annoying. Do apologize. I just had to follow it underneath and then, you know, it ended up on my curtain, I tell you. One thing I hadn't counted on when asking Eileen if I could come over was how large the distance involved were. I'm already feeling the difference from home. Colorado and Utah might be right next to each other on a map, but all to be seen between them are vast plains and utterly nothing. With noon approaching and little else around for miles, as we motored down the endless strip of tarmac, Rose made the executive decision to chance this place for some lunch. It's a little chintzy for my taste, but Fox 50's interior decorated with a mishmash of cheap Americana. But Rose is in her element as she stuffs down another hunk of meat. At least it's quite beyond the cheerful music given. Sorry, I have an itchy nose. We have the diner to ourselves. I barely slept. Hopefully that deals with egg. I barely slept all night, not only at the prospect of seeing Eileen's home, but at this being my first trip so far from home. Right now, though, I'm just glad to be free of the motorbike's vibration and noise. I've finally become used to the odd short trip around the city, but this road trip is something else entirely.
Still getting your back legs, huh?
It's been 4 hours. Ugh, give me a break.
Natural tower. I see the, got the greens on his head.
3 more to go.
She digs in once more as I groan, and try to swing my legs back to life.
Man, the steaks here are amazing. You're missing out.
I think I'll be fine.
I take a sip of my milkshake while gouging how best to tackle the huge plate of steaming nachos before me. Buried in cheese, sauce, and sour cream, the jalapenos are carefully picked off and sitting to the side. Oh, it's snowing now. There's not much to see out here as I glance out the window. Just a endless plain stretching out to the horizon. A enthusiastic welcome sign at the otherwise invisible border being all that indicated we'd entered a different state. I will say, I've seen photos of Colorado, I tell you. From my dip It's been a while since I've, had a nice talk with Dip. We did meet in that, lobby with Rose and Barry and all that. Good memories of that Minecraft lobby. But they live in, Colorado, and that's pretty cool. Seen some views and all that. And then I know someone that went hiking in Colorado, There's a lot of mountains in Colorado. You look up Colorado's, you go on Google Maps, there's mountains everywhere. It's like mountain over there. But not a bad place, I tell you. Except for, the government there, not that the best. Out to the horizon, enthusiastic welcome sign at other... Okay, I did read through that. I'm not sure what I expected, really. I knew there are no rivers or anything defining the border, but it's a different thing to see that for yourself. It's just so arbitrary, a line on a map, nothing more. Far from being any sort of revelation, it just makes me feel rather silly about being so sheltered. This all probably barely registered to Élan as she drove along the lonely highway. Rose picks up her phone to check the address I gave her once again, forcing down the current chunk of steak she's eaten with a giant gulp.
Still have a while to go, huh? If it's as close to the big city as you've said, we shouldn't have a problem finding the place. So, she's never told you anything about her home? Her family?
She mentioned her sister once.
She scratches the back of her head as she thinks.
I don't mean to pry, but I still don't get why she'd come all the way from outside the state to live in Utah. Not that I have anything against the place, I do like it, but it's not exactly where I choose if I were her. But coming here just for a community college, that's the part that gets me. I'm not exactly an artist, but from what you've said, she could probably get a scholarship at a proper college. Sounds like she could probably afford tuition even with that one.
Rose looks to me for answers, but I have none. When she puts it that way, there are vast stretches of Élan's past that are total blank spots to me. She leaves me to stew a little as we eat our respective meals, piping up again as she chews.
Remember when you asked me about my family a few weeks ago? And I blew you off? I feel like I should probably explain that. Not to get too deep into things, I ended up cutting ties with my mom and pop. Given what my family was like, I wanted to have a clean break from them.
Oh.
Quite understandable.
I'm sorry for bringing it up.
I've made peace with it, don't worry. My point is...
Failing to remember, she starts circling her fork in the air.
The point of all this was... Right, Eileen. I'm just saying that there might be a reason she's cagey about her personal life.
Quite understandable. I guess that makes sense. My nod earns a comforting grin.
You're a good kid, Allison. I'm sure you'll do fine.
Now we wear the same sweater over and over again.
You even taught me a little something. To be honest, I expected to be mothering you around when you first arrived to live with me. That you were some kid I already knew everything about, who I'd be left teaching adult life to. Yeah, I was kind of wrong there.
But you've helped me so much. I couldn't have managed without you around.
You've surprised me so much. You made me rethink how much I know about the world and other folks as an adult. I got a little arrogant without even realizing it, and you brought me down to earth. I thought adulthood was about knowing everything, but it's actually about admitting how much you don't know.
That's quite true.
I wanted to thank you for teaching me that.
A lot of people, they leave school, like, you know, not that very good education, and decide, you know, what does suspect, that's what I've used for my entire life, but, you know, they never go out there and get the information that, you know, is out there. Whether that be going and learning it firsthand, or finding it, you know, somewhere else. Satisfied with her explanation, Rose quickly gets back to her precious steak. Left and thought I get back to my own food. I didn't realize I could have such a impact on another's life, let alone Rose's. I looked up to her so much that I forgot we're both just muddling through life together. Eileen's lived so much of her life in subtle manner that maybe opening up to me isn't as easy. Maybe she's just doesn't want to given her past experiences. Sorry, trying to make words go does not work
this trip's
sometimes.
probably a good thing. It'll push you out of your own comfort zone a little. You've already grown in the time I've been bunking with you. Just hang in there, right?
Thanks. I will.
Atta girl.
Sharing a smile, we get back to our food. Dang, this steak must be lasting forever. The nachos as well. Of all the people I may have ended up with as a roommate, someone like Rose was among the last I expected. Maybe she's just the sort of person who was best for me. Go on a short but sweet road trip. High speed. The two of us find ourselves in a surprisingly quaint little corner of America, a heavily forested town with snow-covered pines visible no matter which direction you look. Wood seemed to be the norm for building around here, rather than concrete. I find it quite charming. Actually, I was worried I'd be awkwardly roaming through some manicured slice of suburbia, but this feels closer to a friendly country town, almost something from one of Eileen's westerns.
Just give me a call the day before you want to come back, alright?
I will. Thanks again for all this.
Don't worry, it's a nice ride out to here anyway. Might stick around a bit before heading back.
As she walks back to her bike, she stops and turns around once more, raising her hand and
If you ever want to give me a call, go ahead. It's no problem. I'll be seeing you, Allison.
Bye, Rose. Thanks for everything.
She beams a smile as she gets back on her bike, fitting her helmet before kicking back to stand. With a flick of her wrist and a press of her foot, her bike roars to life, Rose sailing off down the road and around the corner out of sight. I do my best to appear natural as I turn back to the house before me. Duffel bag of clothes slung. Like, this is pretty fancy for being. This is like, you know, the Home Alone house over here. Like, what did they do for a living? Clothes slung over my shoulder. The scenery around here is nice, and there's hardly a crowd. In fact, I'm the only person around at all. Now that I get a good look at Eileen's house, sure is big. My eyes, not Eileen's. I combined eyes and Eileen together, slowly scan around as I slowly make my way down the front garden path, taking in every detail. I guess being outside the city would make bigger houses a little more affordable. With a gulp, I gingerly press the doorbell beside the solid oaken door, quickly brushing my clothes with my hands afterwards to look as presentable as possible. Even as muffled footsteps approach, I'm trying to slick a little snow off my hair. As Eileen opens the door, I'm greeted by a warm smile. That reflectively reaction at the sight of me makes me feel better already.
Fancy seeing you here.
I made it. In the end.
Enjoy the bike ride?
Yeah, it was great.
I don't think I managed to make that very convincing. Looking at each other, I think we both realize we're just making small talk. She leans forward, the two of us sharing a momentary kiss before she nods for me to come in. It's strange how such a simple action can feel so nice every time, my heart skipping even from the most gentle peck. I obediently follow her inside, closing the door behind me
Dad,
as I do.
she's here.
Eileen is cut off by the sound of socked footsteps on the carpet rapidly approaching. A small figure suddenly skips around the corner of the stairs and out into the entranceway, nearly barreling straight into Eileen before stopping herself. With both of us taken by surprise, the small girl examines me, likely around 10 by the looks of her. It's difficult not to see a bit of Eileen in her face.
Hello there.
She quickly shuffles behind Eileen in response. Her impressive, I can never say that word, face peering out from safety. Eileen just gives a sigh in response.
Welcome to the family.
A smell of freshly cooked chicken wafts in the air, the skin steaming away with a appetizing glint. The line of plates down the centre of the table hardly lacks from sides either, with potato salad, coleslaw, lettuce and other greens. While I'm thankful for the luxurious dinner before me, it's rather a quick introduction to our family. I can't help but feel intimidated when surrounded by everyone at once. With her father already preparing dinner as Eileen let me in, and her mother arriving from work only soon after, it was unavoidable. That being the case, here we all are, gathered around one big table. While not exactly a mansion, it's obvious Eileen's family lives very comfortably. I'd probably be green with envy at how well off they are, if not being so self-conscious of how to act in front of them.
I suppose some proper introductions are in order now that we're all together. I'm Eileen's father, Andrew, and this is my lovely wife, Elizabeth.
A pleasure. And you would be Allison?
Oh, yes. Allison Merlo.
The nerve seemed to amuse her father, as he gives a reassuring smile.
This isn't a job interview. You can relax.
Right, yeah.
I let out a long breath and relax a little, though it doesn't really work.
Well, now, let's dig in. I'm no chef, but it hopefully shouldn't give you food poisoning.
Now the most reassuring, coming from, I ate at a place, in England, I tell you, on a long road trip, I tell you. And the haggis, I tell you, was pink in the inside. I don't know how you mess up. You overcook the outside, but you make the inside pink. That's probably why I'm, sick, I tell you. Smiling politely at his attempt to lighten the mood, I start to ladle this and that from the large plates. My mouth's already watering at the prospect of so much wonderful smelling food. Rose might be many things, but she isn't a cook. Satisfied with my selection of meat. There's nothing on that plate! Meat and salads, I pile some potato salad onto my fork and tentatively have a taste. My actions seem to draw some smiles as I make progress on the meal, but I am so enamored with the food, I can't help but keep going.
It's nice to see Eileen's already made friends in college.
I have not said. A brief panic comes over me as I realize we haven't talked this over. Is she out to her parents? Are we going to play this as simple friends? As I mull over how to handle things. Eileen voice cuts through.
Allison's my girlfriend. I probably should have mentioned that earlier.
Even the kid. Everything seems to stop for a moment.
Yes, you should have.
I thought you said having a girlfriend wouldn't be a problem.
You know that isn't what I'm talking about. This isn't the first time you've kept us in the dark since moving out.
I have to admit that I can sympathize with her mother, which puts me in a delightful, awkward spot. Eileen's father makes no attempt to mediate as he eats, which is probably the best
I
approach.
didn't think I needed to report back on everything I did.
Don't you think this is important enough to warrant a phone call?
Neither Eileen nor her mother raise their voice. Even eating the odd bit of food as a quabble, the argument almost feels routine, which, going by her father's reaction, might well be the case. Even her sister is still eating, a bite with badly hidden glances.
I mean, our daughter's first girlfriend. Isn't it nice she gained something from college?
She looks pointedly to her husband, with just the edge of snark to her voice. But he perhaps smartly simply nudges her with a smile, dropping that on them here and now is quite the decision. I'm beginning to wonder why I thought this was a good idea. I can't read her parents at all, but I can already tell my presence here is only increasing the tension that usually permeates this household.
Well, you know now.
At least Eileen dating a girl isn't a problem in the and of itself. Eileen's family pipes up as their arguments peters out, taking a swig of her wine to wash down her food. His food.
Setting all that aside, it sounds like college in Utah is working out well for the both of them.
I'm like, embarrassed over here. We live in Utah? Like, our character lives in Utah, I didn't get like an explanation of where we were in the world, I was thinking either, are we like, in some foreign country? I've been like, maybe a more western place, eastern place. Are we in Europe? Are we in America? Are we in Asia? Are we in Japan? Are we in China? Are we, in France? I'm not sure, with how much wine's going on here, I could have thought it was France, Apart from the western buildings, that kind of gives away that, it's America, and then plus all the Utah, and then Utah, and then Utah, and then Utah, and then Colorado. I thought, they were going to have to fly out under the country because, I didn't know where they were, Didn't, give me good explanation, I tell you. Her father gives a brief chuckle, maybe sensing my tense mood. He seems down to earth and relaxed, especially compared to her mother. That said, I get a vague feeling of being a foreigner, and not just because I'm in a different city, as if there's a certain social etiquette that I am not quite aware of, but everyone else is following naturally.
Quite. So, tell us about yourself, Allison.
Attention now focus on me. I freeze up. I must have expected this would come up. Judging by their conversation, Eileen probably told them nothing about me. This feels like introductions on the first day of elementary school all over again.
Let's see. I go to the same college as Eileen. I've lived in the same city my whole life, but I moved a little closer to campus before semester started, so I'm still getting used to that.
So, you're an art student like Eileen?
Oh, no. I'm nowhere near her level. I'm actually on a science scholarship.
Science, huh?
She sounds immediately interested, her eyebrows raised, but all I can offer is a evasive dodge. I don't know how to say that I'm not really excited about it, even if it's I apparently have some talent.
We are in the art club together, though. We met through the mutual friend who made it.
I see.
Her previous curiosity suddenly hits a wall, with her demeanor changing. Did I say something wrong? The abrupt change in tone completely breaks my train of thoughts. Unsure whether to continue or clear things up. The other problem I have is the feeling of someone's eyes drilling into me. Eileen's mother notices as my eyes shift beside her, hand holding the little girl back to reassure
Come
her.
on, dear. Be polite.
The effort doesn't seem to move her, the girl resisting, as she suspiciously shrinks behind her daintily patterned children's plate.
Don't be silly.
My name's Eve. Nice to meet you, Eve. That's a lovely name.
I keep smiling, but her pouting shows my charm offensive isn't working out. Once again, Eileen comes to the rescue, speaking up as I try to think of another way to overcome her
Are
distrust.
you going to be like this all night?
Eve just huffs and starts shoving food into her mouth, the size of her spoon, and the table before her makes an attempt at seriousness look more amusing than anything else.
Don't mind her. She'll come around.
She might say that, but I was hoping her cute little sister might be a little warm towards me. At least her mother has given up questioning me for now.
Oh, almost forgot to tell you. The spare guest room's just been cleaned out a few days ago, so you can use that while you're here.
Thank you very much. I'm really sorry to impose so much on you.
You have charm going for you. Wouldn't you say, Eileen?
Eileen grimaced at her mother's embarrassing, and her mother embarrassing her in that particular way only a parent knows how. I can already feel my eyelids getting heavy as I lean back into the wonderful soft couch, the exhaustion of the trip and meeting Eileen's folks finally catching up to me as I rest in the living room. But you know what time it is? I have kept this going for way too long, I tell you. It's almost an hour, I do apologize. So, hopefully you did enjoy this. Have a nice day, safe, hope it's simple. Good storms, think of the vitamins, very important. I'm gonna see you saying some of these CCs. Bye bye. Oh, I didn't know there was a key behind L view history. Dang, that's good to know. I could have used that earlier, you know, when I missed a few texts, you know. Okay, have a nice day, safe, hope it's simple. Maybe some vitamins, very important. I'm gonna see you saying some of these CCs. Bye bye.